Today marks a significant milestone in India's political history. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has surpassed Jawaharlal Nehru's record of 4,398 days as an elected Prime Minister, completing 4,399 consecutive days in office. In doing so, he has become the first leader in independent India to govern continuously through 3 electoral mandates. Although Nehru remains India's longest-serving Prime Minister in aggregate terms, having led the country from 1947 to 1964, his tenure as an elected Prime Minister began only after the first general election in 1952. Modi, in contrast, has governed uninterrupted since assuming office on 26 May 2014. The milestone is merely one among several in Modi's political career. Combined with his tenure as Chief Minister of Gujarat, he has already spent more than 9,000 days as an elected head of government and will complete a quarter century in public office later this year. Modi's ascent in 2014 was propelled by widespread disenchantment with a decade of Congress-led governance. The BJP secured a historic parliamentary majority, a feat it expanded upon in 2019 with an even larger mandate. Although the party fell short of an outright majority in 2024, the NDA's victory ensured Modi an unprecedented third consecutive term. Perhaps the most consequential aspect of Modi's political legacy is not the longevity of his rule, but the institutional consolidation of the BJP. Unlike many of his predecessors, he appears to have transformed his party into a durable political force capable of outlasting his personal charisma. Subsequent electoral victories at the state level have reinforced the perception that the BJP's appeal is no longer solely contingent upon Modi himself. Political observers argue that Modi's extended tenure has produced a structural realignment of Indian politics comparable in some respects to the Congress dominance of the Nehru era, albeit under a fundamentally different ideological paradigm. Where Congress once functioned as India's singular pan-national political vehicle, the BJP today occupies a similarly commanding position, while opposition parties struggle to shape the national agenda in any meaningful way. Under Modi, the center of political discourse has shifted decisively from the Nehruvian and socialist traditions that framed much of post-independence India toward a more assertive nationalist and Hindutva-oriented framework. Virtually every political formation has been compelled to recalibrate its rhetoric, strategy, and ideological positioning in response to this transformation. With this record now secured, the government's attention is increasingly directed toward its long-term vision of Viksit Bharat 2047, the ambition of transforming India into a developed nation by the centenary of independence. Sustained economic expansion, manufacturing-led growth, semiconductor production, green hydrogen, and digital governance constitute the principal pillars of this agenda. Supporters contend that while Nehru's era led the institutional foundations of the modern India state, Modi's tenure has sought to reconfigure and modernize those foundations through large-scale infrastructure development, technological integration, and an expanded welfare architecture. If Nehru's India was defined by the imperatives of nation building and democratic institution making, Modi's India is increasingly characterized by the pursuit of civilizational self-definition and ideological reorientation. Modi will eventually depart the political stage, but his most enduring achievement may be the creation of a party apparatus capable of sustaining itself long after his tenure concludes.